P's workshop was a mess, but it was his mess. Pipes, tools, and old manuals were scattered around like the aftermath of a storm. P, his hands steady as ever, was bent over a stubborn pipe, humming quietly to himself. His niece, Nina, sat nearby, absorbed in her phone. Unc.P, you're never going to believe this, Nina said, looking up with excitement. There's this old house, the Braxton House. They say it's haunted. Their plumbing's acting up. Gurgling noises, whispers coming through the pipes. P didn't even glance up, still focused on his work. Haunted plumbing? Sounds like a case of bad pipes and too much imagination. No, really, Nina insisted, sitting up. People say they hear whispers, like the house is trying to talk through the pipes. P chuckled and set his wrench down. Well, kid, if there's one thing I know, it's plumbing. Haunted or not, I can fix whatever's wrong. By the time they reached the Braxton house, the sky had turned to night, casting long, eerie shadows across the yard. The mansion was as spooky as it sounded, broken windows, peeling paint, and ivy creeping up the walls like something alive. Nina hesitated. I don't know, Uncle. This feels like something straight out of a horror movie. P gave her a reassuring smile. Kid, I'm a plumber, not a ghostbuster. We'll handle it. Let's go. Inside, the house smelled old, damp, and musty. Dust hung thick in the air, and every step seemed to make the floorboards creak. The low, gurgling sound of water echoed through the walls, growing louder as they moved deeper into the house. Do you hear that? Nina whispered, her voice tense. Yeah, I hear it, P said, kneeling down by a floorboard. He pried it up, revealing the old pipes below. The gurgling intensified, almost like it was alive. Whatever's going on here, it's not just a leak, P muttered. The basement was colder than the rest of the house, dampness seeping into the walls and floor. Their flashlight beams cut through the darkness, illuminating a tangle of ancient pipes running along the stone walls. The strange sound grew louder, whispers, gurgles, and then something more sinister, like a low growl. Unc, this is getting weird, Nina said, her voice shaky. I know, kid, P admitted, his voice serious. But I need to check the main valve. If there's pressure building up, it could cause a bigger mess. He reached for the valve, and as his hand touched it, the air in the room seemed to shift. The gurgling sound turned into a deep rumble. Something in the walls seemed to respond. Before P could react, the valve snapped open with an explosive force, sending a violent burst of water rushing out of the walls. That's not normal, Nina gasped. Suddenly, a shadow began to emerge from the rising water, a huge, shifting figure. It wasn't a creature, it was like something made of liquid, twisting and turning, moving toward them. Get back! P yelled, grabbing Nina and pushing her toward the stairs. They scrambled to escape the flood of water, but the creature followed them, its form rippling in the water, distorting as it moved closer. They made it to the stairs and rushed up, the flood following them. They burst through the front door into the cool night air, gasping for breath. Soaked and shaken, they stood outside the house, panting. The creature still lurked in the depths, but the house was eerily quiet now. What the hell was that? Nina asked, wide-eyed. P stood still, staring at the house, his face grim. That wasn't just bad plumbing. That was something else, and it's not finished with us. The door to the Braxton house creaked open slowly. Unc.P, we can't go back in there, Nina whispered, her voice tight with fear. P turned back to her, his expression dark. We're not done. Whatever that thing is, it's not going to stop. We need to fix what we started, or it will follow us, and it won't stop. He started walking back toward the house. Nina hesitated, then followed him, knowing they had no other choice.